do it for you.
Baby, don't forget the floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I mean the floor is yours. If it come down to the floor is yours, let me show you how I prove the floor is yours. 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 The floor is yours.
All right. Happy hump day to you guys. And I want to bring everybody in on another glorious occasion of the Floor is Yours podcast, aka Love and Relationships. I said what I said. Shout out to Mogul Media. Tamika Chapman's not on with us, but she is doing what she does every day. She's burning both ends of the wick. She is keeping it busy. We have a beautiful guest here today. Her name is Czarina Matthews, and she's going to grace us with her presence and tell us what she's doing for our wonderful upcoming summit. It is the Conversation Summit. It's happening March 17th and 18th of 2023. I need you guys to take out your calendars, your calendarlies, whatever you're using, pencil it in. If you know someone in the Dallas area, allow them to get their friends and family out so they can come out and join this momentous occasion. This is a community-based action that we are taking to start in our backyard and lead in another ones. We are trying to bring families together. We are trying to bring children together with their families. We're trying to create a network of families and people and businesses and organizations so that, you know, we can build a better tomorrow for our families and for everyone. So I want to go out and get you guys to make sure that if you are not already a part of our Facebook and YouTube pages, please go out, Instagram and TikTok, The Floor is Yours podcast, reach out to Mogul Media, and also make sure that you are on the discussion and in the discussions as we give updates of when we will be landing new shows on The Floor is Yours podcast. So further ado, we've got a 30-minute conversation for you this evening. I'm going to kick it over to our producer, Flex, Tex Arpenta Flex, and he's going to let us know actually what's going on, and he's going to reintroduce Miss Czarina Matthews. So kick it, Flex.
Yeah, so I'll keep it short and sweet. Appreciate you plugging all the shows. Y'all know the deal. We're marching to March the 17th. Marching to March. Hey, I did that on accident.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Right. I just want to kick the floor to Czarina and let her tell us who she is and what she does in the community and how she's going to partner with us in this upcoming event.
Before, just remind them about what's going on with the summit and what the summit's about, and then we can kick into what her part is going to be, and it'll definitely
absolutely. Yeah. So follow all our pages, personal pages, podcast page, and you'll see March 17th. We're doing the Conversation Summit. And what we're doing is focusing on building community in a unique way. Specifically, we're going to be promoting business formation, entrepreneurship within the family. When you talk about building that generational wealth, we're so focused sometimes on the making money piece that we're not strategic with what we're doing. And, not everybody can be a business owner in entrepreneurship, but we want to put that in people's mind as an option. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a pitch contest. That's going to be one of the draws for the event, to do a pitch contest. And we're giving people a chance to come up with your ideas, to start a business with you, your family, your children, or even with yourself. And you get to pitch that idea on March 17th and 18th. And we'll be giving away some real nice prizes. We're talking about the creation of an LLC, website design, strategic business coaching, and a number of other things, logos, and other resources, whatever you're needing specifically to get your business up and running. We want to help resource you in that arena. We got a real dope play that's going to be going on that weekend. So be looking out.
So much fun
on that right there. It's going to be a lot of good events going on that weekend. So March 17th and 18th, put it on your calendars. Cost wise, for adults, it's $10. For the kids, it's free. So we are really trying to get the kids in the house and start addressing them early on. Put ideas in their mind early on so that they can figure out, hey, how do I become a major player on this world stage? So that's what we're about.
That's a great, that was good. You wrapped that up great. And so that would lead us to Ms. Czarina Matthews and what she will be doing for the Conversation Summit. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about what your presence is, what your purpose is, what your business stands for, what your mission is. And so just kind of give our audience an example of what your path in life is up there.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, everybody out there in the world. I want to say thank you so much to Flex Ladybug for this opportunity. Thank you for being here with you guys. And can't wait to information about what I Create Peace Foundation in partnership with Moshe for the Conversation Summit. I think it's an amazing opportunity. I think.
Hey, Serena, let's do something. So there's a little lag. Do this real quick. Just jump out of the stream and jump right back in, and it should pick up, and we'll let you continue the discussion. Okay. Yeah. So all y'all, while she's doing that, y'all know this whole deal with technology. It's good when it works, and then when it's not, we got issues. So just
it's crazy because it's always when we go live. She was perfect.
Can you hear me?
It's a delay. So if we can hear you. It's just a lag. So try to get out and get back in. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And then we'll
go out, and then I'll be right.
So just to go in, let's go in a little bit about what her focus is. And basically, she is focused on the youth.
Yeah.
And exactly. And so I think that our purpose as well, it aligns with hers. Let's see if she's in there.
Yeah. So, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Am I still delayed?
It's not bad. So I think we can get through now.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and let you.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. So again, you start off where you left off, if you can remember. You were basically letting us know just about how happy you were to be here with us today and kind of what your mission is.
Yes. And I think that what you guys are doing as far as the Conversation Summit is concerned, I think it's a great idea. I think it's needed in our community to just be able to provide a platform for leaders to come together and have the conversation, so I think that is amazing. I am Czarina Matthews, and for many who may not know, I am a breast cancer survivor. And, as I was going through my breast cancer journey, I really feel like I found myself in the journey and I found peace. And ever since then, everything that I do, everything that I touch is all about peace. It's all about peace and serenity for me. And, I've started a nonprofit organization, and it's I Create Peace. I Create Peace Foundation. And our mission is really to encourage all generations to find, create, and maintain their sense of peace. I think we all, want peace in our lives, but many of us don't know that we have the power to create our own peace. We have the power to protect our own peace. So that is really what we are all about. We endeavor to provide, a safe space, a supportive community, and an experience of healing for families who have experienced any kind of trauma. And so our programs, I'll just kind of list them really quickly, and then I'll go into, how we're going to be a part of the Conversation Summit. But for I Create Peace Foundation, our 4 programs are the Boss Your Peace Academy. It is also From Pieces to Peace. It is the Pink Beautiful Breasted Hearts, and also the $1 Million Smiles program. So those are our programs.
Explain them briefly if you can for us, especially.
Yes, absolutely. So the Boss Your Peace Academy is going to be a program for students to heal through the arts. So whether their passion is singing or even writing a song or producing a song or dancing or art, whatever their passion is, healing through that means. And then from this to peace is for overwhelmed parents. It's just a supportive community to come together and glean from each other. And then the Beautiful Breasted Hearts program, that is where our annual Pink Christmas campaign fundraiser comes in. During that time, we raise funds for breast cancer patients and their families during the Christmas season. Because, I would hate for someone to have to decide, do I go get my medicine? Do I have surgery? Do I go to chemo? Do I have radiation? All those things. And have to worry about providing Christmas for their families during that season when they should really be focused on healing, right?
Right.
And then the last program is the $1 Million Smiles program, and that is our random act of kindness initiative out in the community. And so when I turned 40, I did 40 random acts of kindness. I loved it. It was so much fun, but I just enjoy, bringing smiles to people's faces. And so that is where
you bring a smile to my face. Look at me. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I think that is amazing. Wow.
Hey, when you said the $1 Million Smile, I thought you was going to tell us you're helping people get braces and white teeth, like white and straight teeth like yourself. But maybe that's something we can do in the future, right?
I might have some food in mine. No.
So one thing that stands out to me is it's called I Create Peace, and I think that puts a personal responsibility for self to be a part of that journey of creating peace, but also the peace that I do create myself can touch others. And I don't know if you meant it to be that way, but it's just something that I brought from the name of that foundation.
Yep, absolutely. You hit it right on the nail. Taking the responsibility and the ownership of your own peace, but creating it and then allowing it to radiate and permeate to other people that you're around, that you touch. And like sometimes you can walk in a room and your spirit can change the atmosphere of the room. And so you walk in with peace, you never know. You change the whole atmosphere, right? Of the environment. It becomes peace. So yeah.
Dope.
I love it.
Dope. Well, I want to share a visual. Well, did you have something before we would go to the visual, Angelia?
No, I'm good. I'm just soaking up all this information she's giving me. It's just the goodness, the feeling of it. You can hear the promise for a better tomorrow and a better you. It's in the passion of her organization. So I can appreciate that. And everyone can also go out to icreatepeaceagain.org. You can find out as much information as you can about Czarina Matthews. She also has some information there for people who like to go in and sponsor and help her organization and feed into her. Again, this is a community. It's always community work that we're doing as we help each other, every sister and brother. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask her for this particular flyer here. These are the principles or the task, if you will, that you'll be teaching on during the event. And I don't know if you want to briefly go through the 4 of them.
Yes, absolutely. So I Create Peace Foundation, we are bringing the Mental Health Peace Rally to the Conversation Summit. This is near and dear to my heart. This is a vision that God gave me last summer. I had been working on it and planning it with my middle son, who is now 9. We've been in the midst of planning a mental health peace rally. And I don't know about you guys, but I have never heard of a mental health peace rally. I've heard of peace rallies. I've heard of mental health walks and mental health, marathons and things like that. But putting them together, mental health peace rally, that sense of inner peace, right? Being at the forefront. I've never really heard of it before. But the mental health peace rally, it is not a protest. I do want people to understand that it's not a protest. This is a student community mental health forum. Okay.
Right.
And during the rally, our purpose is to provide a safe space and a platform for parents and students to have the conversation around mental wellness. Okay. We will have teachers in the building. We will have counselors in the building. We will have mental health professionals in the building to help guide the conversation and to help provide tips and tools and strategies for the students and their parents. And we are going to discuss these 4 topics here. The first one being be unique. So we want the students to feel comfortable in their own skin and to know that, yes, you are unique, and no, you don't look like your classmate, or you don't look like your siblings either. You know, you don't look like the neighbor down the street. You are your own person, and it's okay. Be unique, right? The next one being don't judge me because I'm different, because I don't look like you. Don't judge me, right? Don't judge me for it. And then don't bully me. That is our anti-bullying segment. We will have students, they are in attendance, who are going to share their personal experiences with a lot of these different topics. And so I think it's going to be great. The last one being self-respect and respect of others. We're going to talk about them having respect for themselves, loving themselves wholeheartedly and respecting themselves, but also respecting others. And in addition to that, authoritative figures like teachers and parents. And so I think, you know, this discussion piece is going to be very, very interesting. I think it's going to, you know, have a major impact on students and parents to hear these personal experiences. But in addition to that, the next half of the mental health peace rally is a panel discussion. And that is where we're going to have students and parents and teachers and mental health professionals. We're going to have that in-depth conversation, right? And I think it's going to be, awesome, right? Just to hear, being able to hear what the students have to say. We want to make sure that their voices matter and that their voices are being heard, but a safe space to where we are providing some tips and tools and strategies to kind of help them along the way. You know, there's a lot of people out there who don't believe that kids even have mental health challenges. Right. But they do. You know, they just like we as adults are dealing with things in our day-to-day, they are dealing with things too in their day-to-day. And so that's what the mental health peace rally really is all about.
Now, let me ask you this. This is more a question, and I don't want to give away your whole framework, but why do you think it's difficult to get parents more involved in what their children go through on the day-to-day? Is it a societal thing? Is it just that certain communities are so bred to just be tough and suck up a lot of things? But I'm just curious as why we've reached a pivotal moment where we have to make sure that, you know, the parents are being aware of their children's emotional trauma that they receive at school. And what's the disconnect? If you could just give us a little tidbit of that.
Yeah. I do think it's a little bit of all of what you just mentioned. I think it is, you know, fear of the unknown. I think that there are a lot of parents who grew up where in their household, it's like what happens in this house stays in this house. That's one. And then two, you know, they weren't raised where mental health was, it was looked at as a negative thing. Right. And like, you know, going to sit on somebody's couch and talk about your feelings was, you know, you were shamed for that, you know, so people were made to feel guilty about having to go and really see somebody or talk to somebody about what they were feeling. And I think society has, we've gotten to a point where we're talking about it a lot more. I don't think we're doing enough about it though. We're talking about it, right? We're now silencing the shame, but now what are we going to do about it? Like you're hearing about it. And I also think that being prepared, right, to have the conversation, a lot of us just don't know how to respond. And that is really where the mental health peace rally, where I think we're going to be able to bridge the gap there, and provide some resources and some tools and some tips to how you have the conversation. What do you do when you're feeling this? And when you are feeling this, this is what's happening, right? Teaching them how to even recognize. Let's do a self-assessment. Are you okay? Let's be truthful and honest with yourself. No, I'm not okay. So now what do I need to do?
Right.
That's good. That's good. A couple things that stood out in here, and what you just said, when you're talking about the kids, as we're usually reactive, and unfortunately, it's way in the adult years when it's so bad that we can't maintain healthy relationships and we can't hold down a job, and we got in trouble with the law. It's like now addressing instead of being more proactive in dealing with it or catching it in the early ages, when they're youth. But the other two things too, one is giving the kids the voice to talk about it, which you said is very important. Sometimes we're telling kids how they should feel, and if they're not, it might seem ridiculous and extreme, but belt to the butt is how we're going to deal with whatever that the child is challenged with. And that last piece is, I don't remember, but maybe that's enough.
But no, the societal norm is definitely one of the most intricate pieces of this all. It's because in certain societies and communities, you taught to be tough. You taught to, the boy said, "What to you at school? Oh, go ahead on. You know, it's back to the old thing where, he gets on a fight at the bus and the parent drags him down the street to the kid to say, you hit him back. So I think it starts there. And so what I've seen too now is I see more and more kids. I watched something on Instagram yesterday. There was a little girl, and she couldn't have been no more than 2. And she turned around and told her daddy, she said, "I just need a moment to myself." And see, once we can get, she said, "I need a moment to myself." And she turned her back. And so I think that once we can get to a point where, our children can express their emotions freely, I think that we run into a lot of, less suicide, less, feeling like they have to suppress, their emotions or their hurt or pain. And so, I think that the programs that you're setting forth, along with, the breast cancer awareness, I think self-regulating, crucial. I agree, Mina. Totally. I think that what you're providing to the Conversation Summit is the conversation that needs to be had more often inside of our homes. So I appreciate you for that, for seeing that and understanding there is a conversation niche for that.
You know what it was, and you touched on it, Ladybug, but that's where it is. Sometimes we see our kids and we want them to be the smartest, fastest, toughest one. So to think that they are challenged with something early on, it's intentional, but they're ignoring it, and again, just not doing enough to address it. So hats off to you.
I think being able to validate their feelings, like I think it's generational, right? And history repeats itself. It's kind of like what we experienced, as a child, or what our parents did with us, we tend to do with our own children. But we have to make a commitment, right? We have to realize it and then make a commitment to do something different. But I think being able to get to a point where you can validate your child's feelings, right? And be that soft, safe space for them. Because I'm sure you would much rather your child come to you and be able to tell you what they're going through and tell you what they're feeling versus going out to the streets and going to where, getting in a truck, basically.
Yeah, I'm finding, and that's how gangs operate. I mean, I'm just gonna be real here. I mean, these kids feel like they find someone that can understand them. They my friends, they understand me, or you want to let them know that the best friends they have are in the households that they live in.
Yeah. And I want to take a moment to really hit this one here. That whole self-regulating, that's a skill set. Learning early on is very, very crucial. Mommy and daddy and auntie and uncle not going to always be around, right? Or even the teachers. And how do you, in that moment when the pressure is on, you're talking about peer influence or whatever, being able to self-regulate, to know that, hey, I don't care what y'all say, I'm not about to get involved with that buffoonery. It's
Yes.
tough. And I'm saying, we all know it. We've been in those moments where, for whatever reason, we chose not to do the right thing because of peer pressure.
Right.
So that'd be a good skill set to learn early on.
Yep.
Yeah. This is good. This is going to be a great conversation.
Yeah.
I do realize that we are on a 30-minute time, and I know we're going to be wrapping up here in a second. But I just wanted to ask you one additional question. If you wanted to let our audience know one of the most important things when it comes to speaking to your children and understanding and paying attention to things as they arise, what would that be? What is the one? Well, let me pose it like this. What is the one thing that you think that you're faced with, are questions that parents ask the most?
Parents ask the most of their children?
Of you.
Of me.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a little bit more detail on what.
Okay, so what do you think that you encounter most in your day-to-day work?
I see. Okay. So right now we don't really have like intake calls, but I can tell you just from experience and talking to friends, that parents, as far as their children's feelings are concerned, we all have long days, right?
Right.
And a lot of them want to get to a point where they are not coming home and bringing the stress from work with them and either lashing out on the child or simply ignoring them. And so there has to be like a balance there. And I do believe that is where we start the cycle of losing our kids, when they're not being paid attention to, right? Or when every time we open our mouths is yeah, 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 right? And so I think to answer your question, I think that just being a little bit more mindful of how you come across, just when you open your mouth, your gestures, your shoulders, your facial expressions, right? Especially when your children are coming to you from a soft place, right? It's not their fault you had a bad day. And I'm talking to myself, I have to go back and check myself, right? But yeah, I think that is something. I think it's hard to do, but I think it's something that we have to pay attention to, and we have to find, that balance.
Yeah, that's good. And I'll just add, these are skill sets that you have to learn, and kind of alluded to this earlier, that we're not proactive enough in this arena. Like when it comes to self-help, when it comes to whatever you need to do to learn to be a better person, whether it's, in the form of a parent, a friend, a supervisor at work. These are learned skills that you develop, and what you learned yesterday may be irrelevant today. So I think we can do a lot better job at staying in the know, especially as we have kids and our kids grow. I think we had one of these discussions before, that one of the hard things that we have as parents, one of the things we're challenged with is realizing that our kids, as they grow, they're not that little child anymore, that they're just so dependent on what we're telling them to do and how to think and how they act. And they out there, and I've seen really adults that struggle to make decisions because someone has made that decision for them their entire life. So these kind of programs are uber important. And I thank you for joining it. And one more thing, I asked you in the message, could you touch on the need to be able to accept rejection, or be able to be told no, and it doesn't devastate your life, because we hear all kind of examples where people are told no or get rejection, and it's like the end of the world for them.
Right.
Yeah, that's I think that's for all of us, right? But if you can grasp how to respond to no at a young age, it will help you go so much farther in life.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that no is not like the end all be all. And that just because you received a no, that there aren't any other options, but not to be stuck in the no, right? Don't get stuck in the no because there are other alternatives. I have a conversation with my children and they're just stuck on the no. Okay, maybe no to this, but here's A, B, and C. Here are some other options, right? And so I'm actually very, very actively, I will say, I am actively trying to get my children how to redirect when they hear no. So that's good. That's good.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm here looking at this comment from Tamika.
I'm laughing and I don't mean to laugh. Tamika got me laughing.
Mama, can we eat? No. She just want to get them ready.
She just ain't. Miss Tamika expresses, she definitely utilizes the word no.
Yeah,
She on the phone, she put it on the back of her head before her kids come in the room and be taped to the back of her head. They say no when they want you to go. Tamika is definitely well versed on the word. But and sometimes some no's are necessary.
Absolutely.
Some no's are necessary. Some no's will keep you out of trouble and keep you safe. Yeah. So not every no dessert needs an option. Sometimes no's are no's, but just to say no and not build an understanding behind it, not because I said so, but this is why this can affect you in this manner. So just definitely.
And sometimes when we look at it like no is like a slight at us. Like, we're an entitled population, and
we are.
telling us no, like, what do you mean? I remember just real quick before we go, a story when I was on assignment with the Army at the airport. And man, if you've been in Texas, you see the community here, they're very, very generous to the military. Anything we asked for, I mean, within reason, they gave, and sometimes over and beyond. Well, we was trying to get access to this huge facility at the airport that American Airlines built, this gymnasium and workout facility, and they told us no, and it was just weird. Like, y'all been telling us yes to everything for the past few years, and they were like, oh no, and we was like, what? Really? What do you mean no? But it's just how it is. Like, sometimes being told no, it's a slight to some people, and it's not. I think learning that early on in our lives, can definitely make the difference in the quality of life for people as they grow.
Mm-hmm. And even my college. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to touch on what you said when you were saying, providing like an explanation. There are a lot of adults who will see providing an explanation as a negative to a child. And I think that thought process, we need to work on that. We need to change that, because what you're doing is you're also teaching the child how to back up what their answer is. Not necessarily that you're explaining yourself to a child, but you want to help them have reason and help them to have logic when they're making decisions in their lives. And so it is a teaching opportunity. When you do that. So let's stop looking at providing an explanation or, explaining why you've come to the answer yes or come to the answer no in certain situations with your child.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it. Explaining is good sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta say, hey, the show is over and it's time to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I take that, but I take an approach where if I'm telling you no, it's obviously it's because of something you don't need. Someone said old school parents. My parents don't understand why I'm always explaining to my kids. But this particular listener's children are amazing kids, and so I think that if you're explaining and then you're constantly engaging with your children, so you can understand why, so that you can understand the why. Perfect. Well said. Yeah. And
it teaches valuable reasoning skills, right?
It does. Yeah. But then you don't want them to be afraid, like when they get into their careers, and they're questioning things, that they're afraid to push back, a healthy pushback, right? You want them to be able to learn how to do that.
And how to engage. But I think that when you open up that line of questioning, they feel more comfortable to ask more questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're saying this is why, and they say, oh, okay, but then in their mind, they're still spinning their wheels on, well, why can't I do it this way and this way? And eventually you're going to have to say, but a lot of times as their wheels are spinning, you're engaging with them, you're learning about your child and what makes them work. So some people can have children and never really know who they are. That's why you find so many kids say, my parents don't know who I am. It's because no one's listening. No one's asking them questions and listening to what their responses are. How are we supposed to know who our children are? We don't know what they're thinking. So, I know who my son is because I know what his thought process is. And I know when he's calling and why he's calling. And as he gets older, I know why he's not calling. So I know what I'm working with, so I think that is an important part of not only just parenting, of just, being a human being, aunts, grandmothers, grandfathers. That's why some people find that closeness with their grandparents, because the grandparents are moving in a space where I can listen to you because you don't stay with me all the time. Like, what do you have to say today? But I mean, and Tamika says, yes, my toddlers are always thinking through the next question during the conversation. Logic runs through their little minds all day. Yes.
Yeah. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Just want to give a couple more plugs for the upcoming event. Again, it's about family. It's about kids, especially. So that's why we brought, some of the heavy hitters like Czarina to come in and actually provide some quality, meaningful curriculum to these kids. So if y'all out there listening, spread the word. This is for the kids. It's free. It's a free event. We're going to feed you. That's one thing that we always want to make sure that we do. We're going to have you there. We're going to make sure you got some food in your bellies. But
I make sure there's enough food too, because you know how you show up to places and then all the food gone. We don't want that to happen.
we ain't cutting the sandwiches in half, so you better get there early and get your food. So, but no, it should be plenty of food. Yeah, plenty of food, plenty of everything. And we got another flyer just to show. We got the city involved. When we're talking about shared responsibility, we cannot leave out the elected officials, right? So we voted for them, and we want to not necessarily hold their foot to the fire, but leverage their resources, their influence in the community to make sure that they're helping us meet the needs of the community. So we have Councilwoman, Council Lady Angela Pelham from Frisco, Mayor Curtis Cornelius from Little Elm, and Councilman Jamel Johnson from Little Elm. So, man, it's just a few of the people that is going to be there. So again, we got the support of the community, and I want everybody to get out, register, but get out and support and be a part of this.
Type in the summit.com. It'll also bring up our Eventbrite. I actually think it pops up first.
Yeah.
Go out to our Eventbrite. From there, like Tamika put in the bottom, it's the conversationsummit.com. You can go in, read up on Miss Beautiful Czarina, find out about her organization, find a way that you can be a part of it. And again, don't forget to share her story, share our story, share what we're doing in your neighborhood and in your backyard. Find a way to get yourself or someone that you know involved. Are your children involved? Again, like Flex said, we have a pitch competition coming up, and that's going to give you an opportunity to truly build with your child. And so that is something that we're trying to build in the community as well. Yeah. So again, go out to our Eventbrite, purchase your tickets, let us know that we will be seeing your face. And thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. This is a great conversation. This is one of those conversations that don't happen enough. And it's not a conversation where people are overly excited about, but it's a conversation that is always necessary. So we're here to help you get excited.
And we're being creative. It's not just, hey, just come out and talk about mental health. We're being creative. This is going to be a fun event. So please come out. Again, we got the play that's going to be there Friday night. We got networking opportunities for people who are trying to figure out, like, hey, how do I fit in? Where do I fit in? How can I be a part of this? So don't miss this. But Czarina, before we go, we're going to let you plug yourself. You know, how people can reach out to you, get in touch with you, and partner with you and support you.
And sing us out.
Yes. Those that know me are probably laughing at that.
You know I was gonna let you get away.
Oh man!
No.
All right.
She gonna acapella it for us.
That is funny. That is so funny. Yes, girl. No, I mean, you know, me in the shower. That's about it. But you know. Oh goodness. All right. Well, for those who, you know, just want to check me out or follow my pages so you can just kind of just keep up with what I Create Peace is doing. On Instagram, we are I Create Peace Foundation. On Facebook, we are I Create Peace Foundation. On TikTok, we are I Create Peace Foundation. And so, yeah, follow us, like us. You can always visit icreatepeace.org to find out more information about us. I am also on Instagram as Czarina, as Peace and Serenity. So that's peace, the letter N, and then serenity. It's my name with a TY added on to the end. I did a little play on my name there.
I like
it. For those who don't know, the root word of my name, serene, means peaceful, calm, and serene. And so hence all things peace and serenity. So yes, that's how you can find me. That's how you can reach me. Thank you guys so much again for this opportunity to be able to just share a little bit about I Create Peace Foundation and to share with the people and let them know what we will be contributing to the Conversation Summit. I'm so excited. You are correct. It's not just about mental health. We are going to have fun with the students. Our target audience is middle school and high school parents. Lots of information will be shared. Lots of information will be given. We have swag bags. We're going to have music. We're going to have a party, y'all. So yeah, sure y'all register.
Dance contest.
Hey, and I'm a win.
Hey.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know we were so, when we first talked to her, the first thing she said was, okay, so as they come in, the music will be playing. I was like, bam.
we sold. Yeah.
I was like,
hey,
yeah, we got a girl. She's great.
I think, hey, Ladybug, I think we found a new role for Tamika. She's not going to be on the show. She's going to be in the audience, plugging in the names and the information.
I like it. Yeah.
One more time. The conversationsummit.com. Go there for all the information. Get your tickets. Remember, adults only $10, and then it gets you in for everything for that entire weekend. The play, the round table. Yeah, the play is gonna be dope. But the not round table, what's the word I'm looking for? The panel discussion.
Panel discussion.
Yeah. And then there's great information that's going to be given out by Czarina. So please go and register. Share the word. And even if it's not for you, and you know some people that could benefit from it, man, get the word out. You know, we try.
If you're interested in being a sponsor, please contact us and let us know. We also have a Conversation Summit Facebook page as well. And you can actually reach it through either my Facebook page or the Floor is Yours podcast Facebook page.
Yeah.
We are all friends with that page as well. So again, we have tried to make ourselves accessible. So go out, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever it is you need to do. Tell a friend just to come out and join us. It's going to be a great day, a great couple of days. So yeah.
And dance with Czarina on this outro as we close out the show.
Yeah.
Let me do it for you. Baby, the floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I mean the floor is yours. If it come down to the floor is yours, let me show you how I prove the floor is yours. 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 The floor is yours.
It was good. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Share the show. Until next time.